Shalom, shalom, everybody. It's your brother got cold. Here to talk to y'all about one of my favorite topics for real. Something that people say now. Stop letting people play with you. Repeat that again. Stop letting people play with you. Give me 1 second because I forgot to cut my heater off. Alright, here we go. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, 28 through 31. My son, glorify thy soul with meekness, and give it honor according to the dignity thereof. Who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in his riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? That's what some people are scared of. If people get love and they don't have anything, then they can only imagine if they get something, how much people will love them. And people that's dishonorable and they have things, how much more would people despise them or just overlook them if they didn't have the things they had? Bob Marley said, there are some people that are so poor that all they have is money. That's true, like no character, no type of standards or anything like that. All they got is some money that they probably got through ill-gotten means. Go figure. Let's get it out the Good News Translation. It says humility and self-respect. We starting at verse 26. When you do your work, don't make a show of your skill, and don't try to put on a show when you are in trouble. It is better to work and have more than you need than to go around boasting but hungry. That's also reflected in Proverbs chapter 12, verse 9. Verse 28, my child, keep your self-respect, but remain modest. Value yourself at your true worth. Like, don't inflate it and don't deflate it. Value yourself just as you are. There is no excuse for a person to run himself down. No one respects a person who has no respect for himself. Poor people can be honored for their good sense, and rich people can be honored for their wealth. If someone is honored while he is poor, think how much he will be honored if he becomes rich. If someone is despised while he is rich, think how much more he will be despised if he becomes poor. Chapter 11, verse 1. If a poor person is wise, he has good reason to be proud, not arrogant though, and he will be thought of as someone great. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 4, verses 20 through 22. Observe opportunity, and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. Good News Translation. Self-confidence. Take advantage of opportunities, but guard yourself against evil. Don't underrate yourself. Humility deserves honor and respect, but a low opinion of yourself leads to sin. So many things that people do is because they have a low opinion of themselves, or what we call low self-esteem. Like a lot of things that people wouldn't do or people wouldn't put up with, and there's certain people who do go out of their way to keep certain people's self-esteem low so that they can continue to take advantage of them and get them to do things that they wouldn't do if they felt better about themselves. People will, what they call gaslight, and all different types of methods and techniques where as though they just put a person down, or if somebody else is giving that person some praise or accolades, they'll find a way to give them some criticism right behind it to keep their self-esteem low, or to keep them where they need them so that they can keep doing the things that they need them to do, you know? Like, I can't speak on other people's situations, so I only can speak on my own. But I remember being in a situation where somebody gave me a compliment, and I was around people who benefited from the fact that my self-esteem was pretty low at that time. So somebody's like, man, Wood, every time I hear Wood, he sound just like how he sound on the records. And a person who benefited from me feeling not so good about myself, like, oh, I think this person sound more like the record. You think he sound like, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, dang, I don't get no recognition. So the one little compliment that somebody threw my way, somebody had to find a way to bring that down just to keep me in that place. And it came to a place where as though I didn't even want anybody to give me any compliments because I knew that the put downs was gonna be 10 times worse. I'm like, please don't even say nothing nice about me. I'll be over here in this corner. Don't even look at me, because I don't want to hear the put downs. But it was basically a person who benefited from the fact that my self esteem and my self worth, excuse me, at that time and my perception was very low, and they benefited from that because I was willing to do not anything. Because some people do anything, but I was willing to go to great lengths to make people feel better about me, or to like even accept me and have me around. I was grateful to be in the mix. I tell people all the time on social media, like, the reason I'm bald now is because, like, I used to put perms in my head to make my hair curly, and every time I didn't get the desired result, I'm like, hey, maybe it wasn't curly enough, maybe my curls wasn't fresh enough, so I just go and do it again and stripping my hair the whole time, all the whatever's in it to make it good. And then went from that to the cornrows. And I was like, hey, maybe my cornrows wasn't fresh enough. Maybe it was too much new growth in between. So I get them braided over and over, tighter and tighter. And over the years, that's what happened. But at the same time, I thank the Most High. But my mom said she took it when I was a baby and shaped my head. So I'm grateful that I don't have a head shaped like a cone head or an alien or anything like that. That I'm able to rock it. And I was always wearing hats, so it wasn't like I wore hats because I'm trying to cover it up or anything like that. I'm just a hat guy. When I had the cornrows in my head was all the way down here, I still had a hat on all the time. And some people said that was even part of the problem because they said that certain caps pull your hair out. But either way, I just say I brought that up to say that whole thing of low self-esteem and just doing anything, trying to get some attention, trying to get some love, was what caused me to do that. But it's crazy that the more you love yourself, you don't even worry about what nobody think about you. Once you start loving yourself, and then it's like once you don't appear so needy with the song and with them this guy shall get and them that's not shall lose. Like once you got love for yourself, it generates and it turns into more love from other people. Whereas when you just searching for love, you just needy. People can smell that on you, and they can smell that desperation on you, and it's like you just become unattractive. You like, ew. Like you doing too much. You try to be extra nice to people. You doing too much. Like, what's the motive behind it? Why you being so nice to me? But let me not get too far off a topic for real. We are at, did we do Good News Translation, self-confidence. Take advantage of opportunity, but guard yourself against evil. Don't underrate yourself. Humility deserves honor and respect, but a low opinion of yourself leads to sin. Do not let others have their way at your expense. That's why the whole title, don't let people play with you. Do not let others have their way at your expense. And do not bring on your own ruin by giving up your rights. And when I say stop letting people play with you, don't get it confused. I'm not saying to be violent. I'm not saying to react violently. I'm saying what one of my favorite memes say, if you don't like something, take away its only power, your attention, your presence. You don't have to sit there where somebody's berating you or somebody's taking advantage of you. You can always go elsewhere and take what they say, take their talents. When a basketball player or something go to a different team, he's taking his talents to this city. He's taking his talents over there. And sometimes that mess people up way worse than doing something to them physically. Because you do something to somebody physically, 9 times out of 10, unless you do it real bad, they can heal from that. They can recover from that. But when somebody know they had you, and it works on all people, because I know there have been certain people I had in my life, and I took them for granted, or I treated them less than the way that they should have been treated. And once they caught wind of it and got themselves together as they should have been, then they removed themselves from me. And it do hurt when sometimes you look back at your old photos or, Facebook and all them good for memories. They'll bring up something and you see somebody. Sometimes you see some people and you glad you don't hang with them no more. Then there's other people, if you have any type of accountability about yourself, which some people don't. But if you are a person who takes accountability for their actions, you can say, like, I messed that one up. That was my fault that me and this person don't hang no more. Some people it's their fault, and then sometimes it's yours. And when you take that self accountability, you might not be able to repair that relationship. You might have done so whatever you did, there is no coming back from it. But you can take that as a lesson and not do those things to the next person and then get next relationship so that it could be successful. You feel me? Like sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is the blessing, you know? But you can't get mad at the person when you know you were the one in the wrong. If you weren't in the wrong, that's different. But if you know that you did something or you could have did something better than what you did, and as a result of you not doing that, the person don't deal with you no more, then that should be a lesson to you to not do that to the next person and get next relationship. You feel me? So, with that being said, also sometimes there's nothing you can do but once you, like I said, remove yourself and wait for the Most High to act. And then we can get that right out of the scriptures. Psalm 37 and 7. The whole of Psalm 37 is beautiful, beautiful read, and it's definitely on point with where we at right now. But this verse 7 is stood out, especially because it says exactly that. Rest in Yah, and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Good News Translation. Be patient and wait for Yah to act. Don't be worried by those who prosper or those who succeed in their evil plans. And while we waiting for him to act, let's get our New Testament verse for the week, or verses. This is 2 Peter 3, verses 11 and 12. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be, in holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting to the day of Elohim, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall burn with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Wherefore, beloved, seeing that ye look for such things, be diligent that ye may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless. So don't let the fact that things are not going your way make you do things that might put us or you on the Most High's bad side. So even though some things not going right, that's not an excuse for you to just go wild out. Just go say effort and throw caution to the wind and just do a whole bunch of stuff, and then you be like, well, I was going through something, I was being treated this way. We supposed to still stay diligent. What the scriptures say, be angry. Matter of fact, let's get that. That's Ephesians 4 and 26. Be ye angry and sin not, and let not the sun go down upon thy wrath. Amplified Bible. Be angry at sin, at immorality, at injustice, somebody doing you wrong, injustice, at ungodly behavior, in the head in capital letters, yet do not sin. Do not let your anger cause you shame, nor allow it to last until the sun goes down. Be cool. The Most High got us, and if we his, we win in the end. Let us say, I will win. Maybe not now, maybe not immediately, but definitely for eternity. How about that? So this is Proverbs 14 and 7. Go from the presence of a foolish man. Like I said, get away from him. Just to backtrack a little bit. Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. New King James Version. Go from the presence of a foolish man when you do not perceive, in him the lips of knowledge. Perceive is a verb used with object. To become aware of, to know, or to identify by means of senses. To recognize, like people say, real recognize real. So when you got knowledge in you don't recognize no knowledge in the person that's just flapping their gums and pumping their gums, get away from them. You don't gotta sit there and take that. Go from their presence, just like the scripture says. Discern, envision, or understand. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 22, verse 13. Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. Good News Translation. Don't visit stupid people or spend a lot of time with them. Avoid them. Then they can't contaminate you, and you can live in peace without being troubled or worn down by their foolishness. So, according to the scriptures, foolishness is contagious. You hang around somebody that act a fool long enough, you gonna start to act a fool. It's just you gonna catch it. Like how people be scared of catching colds and all that type of stuff. You catch foolishness too by hanging around with foolish people. And let's get one more verse that I wasn't anticipating getting. And we gonna read that, and then we'll be done for this particular talk. Be in the matter of fact, it's Proverbs 24 and 1. If I'm not mistaken, we gonna see in a second. Yep. Proverbs 24 and 1. And we can end on this one. King James Version. Be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Some people just want to hang with people. Even if they ain't treating them right, they just want to be down. They want to be part of the crew. Once again, part of low self-esteem and a low opinion of yourself. You ain't make your own wave. Somebody don't want you part of something somewhere. Why you want to be part of their thing? Go build your own thing. Get with some like-minded people and y'all do y'all thing. Or just you. And the Most High is the majority, so y'all do y'all thing together. Why you always want to be part of a crew, even when you being treated bad and they telling you that they don't want you there? I don't understand that, but let's get it from the New Living Translation. No, not the New Living Translation. That's not the one I want. I'm sorry. Is it the Good News? No, it's not the Good News. Well, NET Bible. Do not envy evil people and do not desire to be with them. If they being evil towards you, what you want to hang with them for? It don't make sense to me. But self-love, very important, man. Valuing yourself at your true worth. When you know what you bring to the table, you ain't begging nobody to let you sit down at desk because you can go do your own. You feel me? And with that being said, just a little quick one this week. I don't want to hold y'all long. I pray everyone had a blessed Shabbat, and most high willing, we'll be back together again soon. All right? Much love. Shalom.